Hey guys, welcome back to DK Movement. I'm Derek.
And I'm Kelly, and thank you for viewing our channel. If this is your first time, welcome and thank you for checking out our content. And if not, welcome back. Our focus of our channel is to help motivate and uplift others going through tough times. Whether it's relationship, family issues, financial, we've been through it all.
Yeah.
So I'd like to share our experiences with you, one video at a time.
Guys, I have an important topic to bring to you today. Self-love. Why you should love yourself first before you love others.
Check it out.
So the topic, self-love. Should you love yourself more than you love your kids? Should you love yourself more than you love your spouse? Does that even sound right? It sounds like a controversial topic. But what do I mean by that, Kelly?
I think it's not about loving yourself more than you love your children or your spouse. It's loving yourself first. There's a difference because, you know, I love my kids, I love you, and I'm not gonna say I love you less or more than my children. Like, it's not no like scale here, I think, but you need to love yourself first in order to love other people.
So let's actually dive into that a little bit deeper though, right? Self-love means if you love yourself to the core, of course then you're gonna love your kids. Of course exactly. Then you're gonna love your spouse
right.
or those around. People internalize it, look at it different. They look at it and they say, oh, there's no way I have to do everything for my kids. How often do you hear that from women? A lot,
well,
right?
I think it's just the stigma of, you know, as a mom, everything, you take care of your kids, you put your kids first, everything is first for them, but care of ourselves. There's no self-care, there's no self-loving ourselves. We can't, there's no way.
But not even on top of that, how do you want your kids to really look at you? If you're not your best self, and you can't become your best self, I'm sorry, without loving yourself.
Right.
I'm just sorry
there's
about
no
that,
way.
you can't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
guys. I agree.
Are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm just sorry. Because at the end of the day, you can't. You have to love yourself first. Somebody told me, you know, not too long ago, you run all the time. So then.
Was that me?
No. Sometimes you might, but you know, just only because you want to spend time with me.
Yeah, exactly.
But you run all the time. You're not putting your kids first. Oh, yes, I am. Because when he gets older, or when they get older, and they look back at it, they say, oh, my dad was a runner. He took care of himself. Right now, that's the message you should be sending your children. Like, do you want your kids to look up to you as a role model? Or do you want them to look up to maybe Cardi B, right? Not that she's a bad person.
Running, right? So you want your kids to see you as your best self as a runner. Right. But also, let's go a little back further, the reason why you run. Now, if you're stressed, he distresses by running, you know? So if he doesn't do that and he's home and the kids and he's stressed out, like what kind of environment do you think that creates? That creates a very stressful environment because like I said before, that too, but like I said before, the kids they feel your energy. And if you have that anxious energy, your stress, the kids are going to feel the same way, and it's not going to be an enjoyable experience in the house if you're stressed out or I'm stressed out. The kids are not going to have any fun. You begin to pick at everything. You know, you're short. I know I could get short-tempered because if something is bothering me or I feel overwhelmed, my poor child could just be asking for some ice cream, and I'm like, what do you want? You're bothering me, and I'm walking away, and it's not her fault. She just wanted ice cream.
Right. I mean, and also too, it's okay. Then you're going to be okay with having bad days.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta have bad days to have good days.
Yeah, I mean, because you know you're gonna be able to bounce back later on because you love yourself enough to put that back into yourself.
Yeah, right? and when you're saying love yourself and bouncing back, I think we have experience in our life of, you know, things looking like there was no way out, and we. Yeah,
I mean, and at the end of the day, we bounce back and we're here.
And we loved ourselves enough to kind of like to grasp that concept that it's okay. Today was not a good day, but there's always another day. There's a tomorrow, and you look forward. Like I said, don't look back at that bad day. You look forward, and what did you learn from that bad day? Why was that day bad? And maybe the next day you can work on making it a good day.
Now, is this resonating with you guys? Do you feel guilty right now? Do you feel guilty that, hey, you put yourself first today before you put
Exactly.
and your husband, your wife, whatever the case may be, or
Yes.
your children.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, when you love yourself, you don't need other people to approve. You don't need other people.
You mean
to
you
approve.
don't need my approval, Kelly?
Nope.
Oh.
Approval, I think that when you have like these negative thoughts about yourself, you don't feel like you're, like I said before, worth, you know, being in that relationship, worth that person's time. You're always seeking their approval because you just feel down about yourself. I shouldn't have to, I shouldn't
I
need
agree.
your approval for anything. You know, I always wanted your attention, and I'm gonna admit that when we started our relationship, to me, for me to know that like he loves me, he wants to be with me, I always needed him to pay attention to me. So if we're sitting down on the couch and he's on his phone, the phone bothered me because I felt like, oh, you're not paying attention to me because you don't want to be around me. But that's not the case, and I shouldn't have felt that way, because if I love myself,
That's okay.
yeah, if I love myself, if I love myself, I should know that he loves me just as the same as I love him.
Right. And I mean, also too, when you think about self-love, you know, you can really home in and focus on becoming a better you. Meaning, so
Yeah.
if it's weight, if you're struggling with weight, if you're drinking, especially during this COVID time, if you're just finding yourself drinking so much, what do you think your kids, your family, your husband, those people around you are going to see? And most likely, you know, you're going to see your kids kind of take after you, or they're going to go the opposite direction. Then later on, they're going to lose respect for you. Right? And loving yourself first is the most important thing.
Exactly.
Because then you can build on everything else from there.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I have a video that is about, I did a whole transformation, you know, from looking from a hot mess to looking my best. But, you know, yeah, I did the makeup, I did the hair, but that wasn't the whole, it wasn't a makeup tutorial or the whole point of the video. The point of the video was about taking care of yourself, loving yourself, you know, just making yourself feel good. Because if I feel good, then he's gonna feel good. Then my kids are gonna feel good. Everyone's around me, because that energy is gonna radiate off of me. But if I'm angry and I'm negative, what do you think is gonna happen?
Or you're sad inside and you're not really speaking, and the kids are kind of taking advantage of that, and the kids are nasty, right? And then you have no control over your kids, or your husband, or you know, the wife is out and they're doing things. Maybe the wife is out on a trip somewhere, and the husband, because he didn't have self-worth himself, he's letting himself go. He's not shaving. He's a little overweight, right? The wife is out. She's with her friends rather than hanging out with you, and that's the reason why she's not hanging out with you guys, because you're not taking care of yourself.
I've had bad days. Don't get me wrong. I've done walk through this house looking like a crazy person.
But that's okay.
But that's okay, because sometimes he just wants to see that crazy looking person.
Yeah, balloon up to 200 pounds though either.
Sure.
No.
Ice cream? No.
You know, and again, we don't want to go the opposite end.
Yeah.
Where we're so superficial.
Exactly.
Where we're just walking out the door every day, we're dressed to the T, and then our kids and our spouse are just sitting there too. No. It's not. That's two different things.
There's gotta be a balance. There's a balance where you have your PJs days, and then you have you're in your house in PJs. You're not in your house walking around with stiletto heels on and jeans and a crop top, and you're going nowhere, and you just full makeup. That makes no sense.
But you think about it, you guys have been on this journey with us through a few videos now. Like back then when I was overweight and I was drinking and doing those things, how much self-worth, how much self-love did I have for myself? Probably not as much as I do today. Definitely not. Not probably, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Right, guys? So if you're relating with this, I'm asking you right now, if not now, then when are you gonna make that choice to love yourself first? That's where it begins, right? In your mind. And once your mind changes, you can change.
Yeah, and don't feel no guilt.
No.
Don't feel guilt for loving yourself first, and feeling guilty for, even if you're at that time right now where you're not loving yourself, you know, just forgive yourself for that. Forgiveness is the key. Forgive the things that you've done and move forward, and just start loving yourself from this day forward.
So guys, comment below and let me know what you need to forgive yourself for. I'm not gonna judge you. No, and what does it matter?
No judgment. Well, if you like what you see, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications on any other content that we'll be posting.
Hey, have a great day, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.